Hello, I am Kingston. Today I will introduce fujifinance to everyone. Make sure you are on the Phantom network and the correct website. You can add the Phantom network on the chain list with one click. Enter the app and select the wallet connection method. MetaMask and Wallet Connect are supported here. Please pay attention to the pop-up safety notice. Clearly understand the possible risks of use and accept the relevant terms. In Fuji's borrow market, there are currently 3 trading pairs, namely Phantom DAI, Phantom USD, and Bitcoin DAI. Currently, Fuji has aggregated 3 markets on Phantom, Geist, Scream and Ironbank. Here is an introduction to Fuji's working methods. The core is the protocol constantly monitors borrow markets, and automatically refinances its debt positions at the best available rates. Fill in the amount of DAI you want to borrow. I want to borrow about 300 DAI. When you fill in the amount of stablecoins you want to borrow, the minimum amount of collateral will be displayed below. Here I want to get better health factor, so I provide more Phantom as collateral. Now you can sign to confirm your transaction in MetaMask, and then wait for a snap of your fingers. The transaction will be completed. This is the high-speed magic from Phantom. Now I can see my loan and check my positions. In this interface, a number of things are listed in detail such as your borrow transaction pair, as well as the amount of collateral provided, the amount of debt, the health factor and borrow April. Each loan is guaranteed by a collateral asset that may be subject to volatility. There is parameters allow you to keep track on how these market conditions affect your debt position. So you need to maintain a good health factor. Of course, I do this is risky, haha. You can add collateral to your collateral to improve your health factor, which will also reduce your borrow limit, and loan to value. The loan to value ratio is defined by dividing the value of your outstanding debt over the value of your collateral. It's expressed in percentage and at LTV equals 75% is the maximum amount of currency that can be borrowed with collateral. Sign the transaction and wait a while. You can try to take out part of your collateral, but this will reduce the health factor of the position, and increase the risk of liquidation. This will show the maximum amount of collateral that you can withdraw. But I generally don't recommend you to do this. Sign the transaction and wait a while. In the debt, you can try to repay some of the funds you use or all of the funds. The same will cause some reference index changes in the position. Here you may need to approve the relevant tokens of your repay. Infinite approve can make your facing bigger amount in the future. When the amount is repaid, there is no need to authorize again, which will be relatively convenient, but will be agreed to the great risks. If you approve the amount of tokens you need to repay, when there is a risk in the contract, the risk you take will be relatively small. But if you need to repay a larger amount of tokens, you need to approve again. I personally prefer the latter. When approve your token has been successfully confirmed, MetaMask will pop up another transaction confirmation window. Click confirm and then wait. Here I want to talk about a digression. Due to some network and equipment problems, the web page response is slowly when I record the video, and the actual operation is relatively smooth. You can also continue to borrow some stable coin. But you should be aware that if you borrow more tokens without getting more collateral, there will be agreed to risk of liquidation. Wait for a while after the confirming the transaction. I really like the fast response of Phantom, which is hard to see on Ethereum and costs a huge cost. Here I introduce a function that I think is very interesting, which is flash close. Flash close allows you to manage your debt position easily by saving your time and operational costs. The principle is that it will use a flash loan to sell your collateral on SpookaSwap and repay your outstanding debt in the same transaction. The advantage of this method is that you don't need to be in possession of the assets you have borrowed. After submitting the transaction, we can click to enter PhantomScan at the bottom right to view the transaction details. On PhantomScan, you can check how flash close works and how it maximizes to save your time and reduce operations. The cost of my operation is only $1, which is about 0.5% of the gas fee compared to performing the same operation on the Ethereum main network. This will greatly reduce your costs and allow more users to experience the fun of using Fuji. Finally, I hope you can learn some basic skills about Fuji Finance in this introduction of mine and have been exploring the more field of DeFi with a heart to explore. This world is still amazing. Please do not stop the pace of progress. I am Kingston. See you next time.